Shiva's marriage procession is one of the most interesting episodes of Kalidasa written Kumarasambhavam. He is going to marry Uma, daughter of Himalaya, after she has, through tough penance, won his love and confidence. The ceremonies, as described, are almost contemporary, and that makes it all the more interesting. I propose to make a number of videos on the particular subject, but this one is devoted to the arrival of the baaraat. In the bride's home, the mother, Uma's mother, well versed in all the marriage rituals, asked Parvati, sure to bring honor to her family, to bow to all the family gods. She was then asked to bow before and touch the feet of all the virtuous women gathered there. Look at the rituals, look at the veracity, look at the respect to elders. Enthusiastically, in accordance with his status and wealth, the skillful and polite Himalaya also made all arrangements for the marriage. Thereafter he waited, along with his friends and courtiers, in the marriage hall for Shiva to arrive. It happens today also. Similar, exactly similar. On the other hand, Shiva is getting ready. At the same time, writes Kalidasa, at Mount Kailash, the 7 holy mothers respectfully brought and arranged in front of the Lord the entire wherewithal for his marriage, articles similar to the ones that had been used in his earlier marriage. Lord Shiva merely touched these articles of Shringar, auspicious and expensive, as a token of acceptance, but did not put on any of them. Rather, with his divine powers, he made himself ready for marriage. He was a yogi, smeared in ashes, but he became a bridegroom. The ashes turned into a shining white fragrant powder. The skulls around his neck changed into lovely crowns. The elephant skin on his shoulders transformed into a silk apron with images of pairs of swans printed in yellow on its borders. Kalidasa notes the dress. His shining conch-like third eye with a yellow pupil transformed into a lovely turmeric tilak. The serpents coiled around his different limbs changed into appropriate ornaments. The gems in their hoods continued to glisten. With the moon his crown shining even in daytime, its dark spots invisible because of its crescent size. Remark the minute observation. Changing into a headgear encrusted with jewels. Where lay the need for hurry to look for another turban for the wedding? How sensitive, how beautiful. The attendants marching in front of Shankara blew on their horns to announce the happy occasion. Their message echoed in the canopies of the Vimanas in which the Devatas were flying and alerted them to attend to their duties to serve the Master. Instantaneously, the sun, to offer protection from his million rays, unfurled a new majestic umbrella designed by Vishwakarma over Shiva's head. Its tassels swayed over his head like Ganga falling in streams. What a beautiful image. Abandoning their forms as rivers, Ganga and Yamuna arrived to wave chauris over Shiva's head. With their moving white whisks, flying swans they resembled. As in a yagna the flames rise higher when ghee is added, Brahma and Vishnu arrived in person to add to Shiva's majesty and joined the chorus of victory to Shankara. Indra, forgetting his kingly splendor, dressed in humble attire, accompanied by other kings, arrived to look at the Lord. On being directed by Nandi, look at the image. On being directed by Nandi towards Shiva, they with folded hands bowed in his presence. Shiva nodded to Brahma, inquired after the well-being of Vishnu, smiled at Indra, and merely looked at the other devatas. He thus greeted each one according to his place in the hierarchy. Shiva's bull walked leisurely with grace. Tiny golden bells tied around its neck tinkled as he moved. It was trying all the time to shake off from its horns the clouds that had stuck to them like the smear of mud. When it tried to demolish tiny hills of sand on the river bank. Shiva, his throat blue like clouds, descended upon the city from the sky, upon the earth where he had left many marks like roads earlier. Himalaya, the king of the mountains, greatly pleased on Shiva's arrival. At this moment, all the charming women in the town put aside work in hand. They assembled at the rooftops, keen to have a look at the Lord. Himalaya proceeded to welcome the son-in-law. His near and dear ones, bedecked with flowers, looked like the trees blooming on the Himalayan slopes. The trees are there all the time, and they are made the persons receiving the baaraat. Himalaya felt uneasy with Shiva, whom the entire universe adores, bowed to him. He didn't realize that even before Shankara had bowed, he had, by lowering his head, acknowledged his majesty and greatness. Propriety rules the universe of Kalidasa. Happiness written on his face because of his close affiliation, Himalaya led his son-in-law into the prosperous city. He walked with him on a path covered by an ankle-deep pile of flowers. The women dashed towards their windows in such haste that the garlands tied around their buns fell off. Still holding them in hand, unmindful, without caring to put them back, they positioned themselves at the windows. Now Shiva is coming as a bridegroom. He doesn't forget to look at his visage. He needs a glass, a looking glass. He uses his sword as a mirror. The women of the town are so happy, they forget what they were doing. A woman just applied collyrium on his right eye, hastened to the window with the applicator, depriving the left one of its application. The string around the waistband of a woman came loose as soon as she rushed to the lattice in her room to look at the procession, while she stood still, holding the slipping garment in her hand. Her navel was pierced by the brilliant light emanating from gems inlaid in her bangle. Shiva is all the time enjoying his being the bridegroom. He is moving through the streets of the city. All the while he advanced on the royal highway festooned with buntings and arches. The light from the moon on his head, even in daylight, heightened the glow on the tops of the buildings of the city. Women talk among themselves. It was but right for the delicate Parvati to have done penance for such a suitable match. He is so handsome that a woman will be blessed if she could just be his slave, leave alone the one who could lie in his lap. Shailaja is so lucky, and her father Shailaraj is also lucky, already supreme because he supports the weight of the earth. His stature now will be higher than before, for he has established a relationship with Ishvara himself as his son-in-law. The baaraat moved on into the palace. Brahma and Vishnu walking together with Shiva. They were followed into the Himalayas palace by Indra, the Saptarishis, the Devtas and other rishis, and the attendants of the bridegroom. A job, writes Kalidasa, is sure to be well done where the beginning is auspicious. Inside, as writes Kalidasa, the arrival of autumn delights human beings. Like lotus buds, Shiva's eyes opened with joy when he looked at Parvati's blooming moon-like face. At her sight, his mind became pure like running water. Repeatedly they looked into each other's eyes. They felt shy of their impatience, of their longing to unite, while all the time casting stealthy sideways glances. This is followed by the marriage ceremony, which I propose to take in another video. Thank you for listening to this particular video. I am sure that you have liked it.